If you're watching this, then you're probably looking for more information on which service to go with for identity theft protection. After watching this Norton LifeLock review, hopefully you get your answers. Finding the right identity theft protection is vital for you and your family's safety. I mean, let's think back as far as August, where 1.4 billion people's data was leaked. The question isn't about whether you need identity theft protection, but which service is best for you. Is Norton LifeLock the answer? Let's see. Over this review, I'll go over some key features, options, and whether all of this is worth the price. And if you're already interested, check out the description below for some discount codes. It'll support the channel at no cost to you, and it'll get you some savings. So, let's get into this. Identity theft monitoring is standard, and it covers all the usual areas, from registries to USPS change address requests and the records related to data breaches. There's also dark web monitoring, though I will note that in my testing, it didn't fare very well. Although it does monitor some of the dark web leaks, it didn't do as well as the competitors like Aura, where they can get more thorough and more accurate with their data breaches related to the dark web. On the positive note, Norton LifeLock does have privacy monitoring, where if your information is on some data broker sites, it will alert you. The only issue there is that once you're alerted, you will have to do all the takedown requests and the heavy lifting on your own. But it is a good start. This does bring me to a point of contention with Norton LifeLock. It does look at the information on data broker sites, but it only has about 19, and in order for them to do the legwork, you'll need to upgrade, which creates a bigger sphere where it feels like they're constantly trying to upsell you into an a la carte situation. 19 data broker sites is not a lot, especially when you look at the competitors for data broker removal services like Optory. Okay, rant over. With LifeLock, there's also financial and investment account monitoring, which notifies you if your connected accounts have withdrawals, transfers, or one of those mysterious things where money just moves from one account to the other. If something strange is happening, LifeLock will immediately notify you. Now, I will say, some of your banks will have this feature already added on if you're doing business with them, so it does end up feeling pretty redundant at points, but something that I do like about it is it will take all your accounts and let you see them on one nice dashboard. You also get credit monitoring with all 3 credit bureaus, although I will say that you only get this by going with the most expensive plan. With other services like Aura, it is standard across all plans, not just the most expensive one. If you are looking to get credit monitoring for free, you can do that with Credit Karma. Also, for an additional subscription, you can get a security suite and VPN services to protect you from malware, snooping, or other threats. Personally, I do think that Norton does antivirus protection better than the identity theft. So for those looking for just antivirus protection, I would highly recommend doing it as a standalone rather than bundling it with the Norton LifeLock service. There's also the other side of the coin. An ID theft protection and resolution service is only as good as when the worst happens, and Norton LifeLock is no exception. If you happen to become a victim while you're using its LifeLock protection plan, you are definitely covered. With the highest tier, you can get up to $3 million in coverage. $1 million coverage for lawyers, $1 million for the stolen funds, and $1 million for out-of-pocket expenses. That works, but the $25,000 each for stolen funds and out-of-pocket expenses with the standard plan just doesn't cover it for me. While this coverage can save you money in the event of identity theft, it is expensive. If you are interested in Norton LifeLock, don't forget, check out the description below for a discount code. Having tested over 15 services, I can say that the sign-up process can be a bit tedious at times, although Norton LifeLock is an exception. First, you'll need to sign up, set up an account, putting in your basic information, and then input your payment for the year. Next, it'll request information and accounts that you want monitored. For this, I recommend doing this at home so that you can have the important documents very readily available to make the process easier. You'll definitely want to explore the dashboard, and LifeLock will have some recommendations on other things that you can fill out. Overall, I'd say it took me about 10 minutes to get going. If you want to protect yourself and get your money's worth, you're going to want to check back periodically on Norton LifeLock, whether it's weekly or even daily at some points. The dashboard is a key feature and a big win for Norton LifeLock, so you'll definitely want to check it out. It's easy to use and everything is clearly labeled. At a glance, you can find pretty much anything, and there's little to no points of confusion. When comparing the app to the browser, I would say that there's very little difference and you'll want to go with whatever's easiest for you. There is a point of confusion that I do want to address, and that is that Norton does have a lot of apps out there. When I searched on the Google Play Store, Norton LifeLock did appear, but so did 8 other apps. So make sure you sign up for the right Norton LifeLock app. Now, if you do experience a hiccup, you will most likely have to reach out to customer service. The good thing is, Norton LifeLock has 24/7 customer service, as there should be in such industry. However, there are some problems to deal with. They are hard to get a hold of, and if you are an identity theft victim, you will need to prove that before you get connected with a resolution team. Furthermore, their Ultimate Plus does get priority customer service. This is disheartening. I feel like I shouldn't need a special ticket in order to get priority service, especially when every hour counts. There is the usual array of guides, FAQs, and forums. However, I will say that by the time you need customer service, any forum isn't going to be very helpful. Now onto pricing and plans. On one hand, I do like seeing options, especially because every household has different needs. A lot of research is needed in order to boil down which plan is needed, but don't worry, I did the hard work for you. First, there's the standard plan. With this, you get really basic coverage, $1 million to cover lawyer expenses and $25,000 to cover any stolen funds or out-of-pocket expenses. You also get 1 credit bureau monitoring and basic identity alerts. 1 credit bureau? Do you get to pick it? You're like, TransUnion. It's pretty bare bones, and it comes in at $90 for the year or $12 a month. Advantage is the next tier, and this is where you start seeing other additional features. Coverage for stolen funds and other personal expenses here are $100,000. You get additional types of alerts like the buy now, pay later transactions, phone takeover monitoring, and you get to be alerted if any crimes are committed under your name. All of this comes in at $179 a year or $23 a month. And if you made it this far, well, we're at the top of the ladder. Norton's Ultimate Plus plan. Let's check it out. Here, you get $1 million in coverage, and they finally included all 3 credit bureau monitoring. You also get investment and other type of accounts monitoring. All of this coming in at $240 for the first year. Frankly, this is expensive. Other service providers will provide this at a cheaper cost. I mean, at this point, we're just paying for the brand name. Norton LifeLock is a trusted product from a trusted name that will provide identity theft protection on a basic level. The reliability, the ease of use, and the familiarity with Norton LifeLock will be welcomed by some, but I still don't think it's worth it, especially with other services out there being able to provide just good, if not better service. Like Aura, especially when comparing their dark web monitoring. If any of these services are appealing, don't forget to check out the description below for some discount codes. It helps support the channel at no cost to you, and we'll see you on the next one.